Dear viewers, hope you are well. China will continue to support the efforts of the Solomon Islands to maintain social stability, realize sustainable development, and address traditional and non-traditional security issues, the Chinese ambassador said at Friday's handover of facilities for Honiara to host the 2013 Pacific Games. Solomon Islands Prime Minister Monashe Sagavare said at the ceremony that the relations between China and the Solomon Islands have deepened since the establishment of the diplomatic ties in 2019, and facts prove that the Solomon Island was on the right side of history in its decision to establish diplomatic ties with China. China handed over a training track and football field site of the 2013 Pacific Games Stadium project to the Solomon Islands on Friday. Both China and the Solomon Islands confirmed that the two countries officially signed the Intergovernmental Framework Agreement on Security Cooperation recently, and China has stressed that the security cooperation is open, transparent, and inclusive, and does not target any third party. It also said there is no hidden motive, no geopolitical agenda, as some people wrongly claimed. China will never infringe on the sovereignty and internal politics of Solomon Islands. Regarding the security ties between China and Solomon Island, the US and its allies in the region have warned the move could give Beijing a stronger foothold in the Pacific. The Solomon Islands Prime Minister says the deal does not include plans for a Chinese military base. Chinese Foreign Minister also said Pacific Island states are neither someone's backyard nor pawns in geopolitical confrontation. Chinese newspaper Global Times say, why does the US bother to visit an island country where its embassy has been shut down for 29 years? To care about the country's development status or try to achieve other purpose? A spokesperson of the Chinese Foreign Ministry asked the US after the country sent senior officials to the Solomon Islands and discussed issues involving China. Chinese Foreign Ministry also says the US's intention to exaggerate tensions and stir up opposition will not work, and its attempt to block the island country to cooperate with China is doomed to be in vain. The ministry spokesperson Wang said on Tuesday press conference, noting that rather than someone's backyard or pawn in geopolitical confrontation, Pacific Island states need diversified external cooperation and the free choice of their cooperation partners. Wang Wenbin also said the US is much more suitable to the description of undermining regional security as it tries to bring the risks of nuclear proliferation and the Cold War mindset to the South Pacific region through AUKUS, while smearing China, which has always performed as the regional peace builder and stability promoter. Wang reaffirmed that the open, transparent, and inclusive security cooperation between China and the Solomon Islands does not target any third party or contradict the Solomon Islands' current bilateral or multilateral security cooperation mechanism. As a normal exchange between two independent sovereign states, the security cooperation between China and the Solomon Islands is in the common interest of the Solomon Islands and the South Pacific region, given its aim are to promote social stability, good governance, Wang noted. Australia, New Zealand, and the US are particularly concerned that the deal could allow China to establish a military base just 2,000 km from Australia's east coast, with the draft text permitting China to make ship visit to carry out logistical and have a stopover and transition in Solomon Islands. It is to be noted that this agreement has created biggest concern for Australia. The naval base, which would be a stand for a broader set of strategic anxieties of Australia. For Australia, potentially a strategic nightmare, but it is equally of concern to other Pacific islands as well as for the same region. Mark Harrison, a senior lecturer in Chinese studies at the University of Tasmania, say that the deal was a disaster for Australia, whose relationship with Beijing has long been strained. It is another difficult step for Australia reassessing its future in a China dominated region. Harrison said Australia completely misjudged the implication of China's rise in the early 2010s, and the reassessment has been slow and equivocal and still has a long way to go. The Solomon Islands, with a population of less than 7 lakh, is a chain of hundreds of islands lying east of Papua New Guinea in the Pacific Ocean. The capital, Honiara, is on the island of Guadalcanal, the site of a ferocious and hugely significant battle between US and Japanese troops in World War II. The one-time British colony has struggled with unrest since the late 1990s, when ethnic tensions erupted into violence and a coup Sogaveri to power for the first time in 2000. With the country in a state of near political and economic collapse, Australia and New Zealand deployed troops, stability was restored and a peace accord signed. Thank you.